Social cognition is the study of how we think in social situations. It explores how we process, store, and use information about other people and the social world. Imagine you are at a party, meeting new people. You quickly make judgments about their personalities and interests based on their appearance, body language, and conversation. This is social cognition in action. We rely on mental structures called schemas to navigate the complex social world. Schemas are mental frameworks that organize our knowledge about the social world. They act like mental shortcuts, helping us make sense of new information quickly and efficiently. For example, we have schemas for different social roles, like a doctor or a teacher. Social cognition is not always accurate. Our judgments can be influenced by biases and errors in thinking. For example, we tend to pay more attention to information that confirms our existing beliefs, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias. Understanding social cognition is crucial for navigating the complexities of human interaction. It helps us understand why people behave the way they do and how our own thinking can influence our social experiences. Schemas are like mental blueprints that guide our understanding of the social world. They help us organize and interpret information about people, situations, and events. There are different types of schemas, each serving a specific purpose. One type is the person schema, which contains our knowledge about specific individuals. For instance, your schema for your best friend might include traits like funny, loyal, and a great listener. Another type is the role schema, which relates to social roles like a doctor, teacher, or police officer. We expect people in these roles to behave in certain ways based on our schemas. Event schemas, also known as scripts, guide our understanding of how events typically unfold. For example, we have a script for going to a restaurant which involves being seated, ordering food, eating, paying the bill, and leaving. Schemas help us predict what to expect in different situations and how to behave appropriately. However, schemas can also lead to stereotypes and prejudices. If our schemas are based on inaccurate or incomplete information, they can lead to biased judgments and unfair treatment of others. It's essential to be aware of our schemas and challenge them when necessary. Heuristics are mental shortcuts that allow us to make quick judgments and decisions, especially when faced with complex information or uncertainty. While they can be helpful in many situations, heuristics can also lead to systematic errors in thinking. One common heuristic is the representativeness heuristic, where we judge the likelihood of something belonging to a category based on how well it represents a typical member of that category. For example, if you meet someone who is quiet and enjoys reading, you might assume they are more likely to be a librarian than a salesperson, even though statistically there are far more salespeople than librarians. Another heuristic is the availability heuristic, where we judge the frequency or probability of an event based on how easily examples come to mind. For instance, after watching a news report about a shark attack, you might overestimate the likelihood of being attacked by a shark, even though it is a relatively rare occurrence. The anchoring and adjustment heuristic involves starting with an initial value, the anchor, and adjusting from there to make a judgment. However, we often rely too heavily on the anchor, even if it is irrelevant or arbitrary, leading to biased estimates. For example, if you are asked to estimate the year Gandhi was born after being shown the number 1900, you are likely to provide an estimate closer to 1900 than if you had not been given an anchor. Cognitive biases are systematic patterns of deviation from rationality in judgment. They arise from our brain's attempt to simplify information processing. While biases can sometimes lead to errors, they can also be adaptive, allowing us to make quick decisions in complex situations. Confirmation bias is our tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, while ignoring or downplaying evidence that contradicts them. For example, if you believe that left-handed people are more creative, you might pay more attention to examples of creative left-handed people and less attention to creative right-handed people. Framing effects occur when our choices are influenced by how information is presented or framed. For example, people are more likely to choose a medical treatment with a 70% survival rate than one with a 30% mortality rate, even though the information is identical. Overconfidence bias is our tendency to overestimate our abilities and the accuracy of our judgments. Understanding social cognition and its inherent biases has practical implications in various domains, including personal relationships, education, healthcare, and the workplace. By recognizing our own biases, we can make more informed decisions and interact with others more effectively.